today is going to be kind of like your blueprint to Instagram. Every single thing that you do on this platform should connect. From your bio to what you're posting on your feed to what you're sharing in your stories, any lives that you're doing, it should all be related to your brand as well as your brand message. All right. And we're going to start off today by talking about the bio, which I think is probably the most critical piece of Instagram as a whole. It's your digital first impression. It's going to be the first thing that people see when they get onto your Instagram page. It's that deciding factor of if they want to actually follow you back and connect with your content. But a good bio really lets people know not only who you are, but what you do and how you can help them. There's a lot of elements and platforms when it comes to your bio too, and lots of things to consider and really tighten up. Like, you need to leverage the heck out of every single element in your bio. So some of these include your handle, of course, your name section, the category, the bio itself with the copy. You've got 150 characters to really wow people and say what your message is. And on top of that, you've also got, locations that you can put in there. And this is for business accounts. You've got buttons. And those of you who have e-commerce store, add that shop button. That shop button is going to become a part of the main nav soon. So super critical that you have that nice and polished and set up on your feed, ready to go. You will thank me later for that. You've also got your link in your bio, which is super critical. And if I catch any of you using Linktree, we need to have a conversation, because there's a lot better platforms out there to have multi-links if you don't currently have a website. So there's a quick tip for you again on your bio is making it easy for people to find you. And there's two main ways that you can do this. One is through your handle, and two is through your name section of your bio. These two should always be different from one another. So your handle, for example, is the Mind, Body, and Soul Collective. That's Nicole's handle. In her name section, she would probably put her name, like by Nicole, and then maybe put like a slash or a colon or semicolon, and then put the industry that she's in and what she does. So she does wellness retreats. She's really bringing communities together. So you want to make sure that your handle is super easy for people to find. Try to avoid like double underscores, lots of dots. Numbers are really difficult for people to remember. I did a post about this last week. Like, I can't even remember my own number sometimes. Like, how am I supposed to remember the number in your handle? And then the other thing too is your name should definitely speak to, what you're all about, your area of expertise or your industry, because they're both highly searchable sections. So when you have them the same, you're just wasting the space in your name. And I think you have 30 characters in the name section. So you really want to utilize that to really expand your reach on Instagram for people to find you. Okay? So your feed, and I like to think of this as your primary source of all of your content across Instagram. So at the beginning and throughout this, I've been telling you everything on Instagram should connect in order for you to share your message appropriately and grow your community organically. So when you create a feed post, think of that as your primary, your largest piece of content. And Gary Vee talks about this a lot too. You've got visuals in your feed post, plus you got like a caption you can work with. And I think it's like 1,200 characters or something, maybe 1,500 that you can write in that caption. Not saying you need to use all of that, but definitely use it if you want to, okay? But think of this as your primary. write your caption, make your beautiful post, and then repurpose across the other platforms on Instagram. So follow up that post with a story or go live and provide just a little bit more context into it. Maybe you want to make an IGTV out of that particular post with, quick tips. You could even do reels out of that post, which would be better for the quick tips. Actually, you can just point and put the text and all that kind of good stuff. But think of this as your base. Okay, I'm creating for my feed. Now that I have this piece of content, holy crap, today I now have stuff for my stories. I can go live. I can, message people about this. I can start conversations in the comments. You've got stuff to work with. Now, when it comes to your feed, you've got a few different types of media that you can share as well. You've got, regular photos, static images. You've also got videos. You can share up to 60 seconds of video on your feed. Anything longer, you have the option to add it to your IGTV, which is great. You also have carousels to work with. And this is amazing for storytelling, bite-size and snackable pieces of information. Great for actioning things, takeaways that people can get depending on the type of content that you share. And they're really, really good for engagement. Sneaky little tip, and this is on the analytics side of things. Carousels keep people on your content for longer, which actually increases your impressions, okay? It counts towards the impressions number in your analytics and insights on Instagram. And that's the analytical side of me, okay? And then you've also got GIFs to work with. So similar to your videos, and I didn't say this about video yet, but video and GIFs are really good for your reach and your impressions on your feed. GIFs especially, and I guess it depends on the video, because you can make loopable content. Again, keeping people on your content for longer, which is really adding to those impressions numbers that you have. Okay, so you get quick tips for all these sections. For your feed, try to add alt text for greater visibility. I made a post about this not too long ago called Get Found on Google with Instagram SEO. So you can actually add alt text to existing photos and new photos simply by going to the advanced settings. When you're writing the caption, it's at the bottom. And you can basically add descriptors of what's in that particular photo. So, things like here, or I always like to include my handle or my name. So it'd be Amanda Kohal shares her top tip for getting found on Instagram. Or I'll put Amanda Kohal of @TheWolfCo shares her top tip for getting found on Instagram. So I'm still including kind of keywords that I would want people to not only search for, but when they search for it, my name would be attached to it. This is the best way to really connect with your community and show who you are. And much like the feed, you've got a few different options for video platforms on Instagram. You've got stories, you've got IGTV, you've got live like I'm doing right now, and you've got reels, which is Instagram's version of TikTok, okay? They all serve very, very different purposes. So stories are more so to connect with your existing audience and take a look behind the curtain and kind of do a little bit of behind the scenes, as well as providing just a little more context into perhaps what you just posted on your feed that day. It's not to say that you can't get found by external audiences at all, because you can. And if you actually use, hashtags and location tags a couple times a day on your stories, this will really increase your reach of your stories to external audiences, people who aren't already following you. But the stories are just a great way for you to actually connect with your current community. Okay. For IGTV, this is super engaging content. It usually increases your profile visits, and it increases curiosity around the brand in general. It's great for tutorials, You can even save your lives as it, which is awesome. You can make episodes, a whole series of it, which is something you should definitely consider. And you can post up to an hour's worth of content on IGTV. So it's freaking awesome. It's going to be monetized soon. So don't sleep on IGTV. Like, start practicing and getting some content up there. Instagram Live. This is really like conversation starting, a great way for you to connect again with your existing audience. As well, if you're attending lives, this is really great for you to find new audiences and connect with like-minded folks, okay? You're all watching this live for a reason. You have an interest in Instagram. Everyone else is doing the same thing. So you guys are probably entrepreneurs, small business owners, side hustlers, all have something in common and an opportunity for you to connect with your folks. If you're going live with another person, this is even better, of course, because, my audience got notified that I was going live this morning. But if I'm going live with, Wilsey, for example, her audience is also going to get notified of the live too. So you're really expanding your brand awareness to new audiences with that notification. And then Reels, you can really get in front of new audiences with Reels. Instagram is pushing the hell out of these. So if you have Reels, please start using them, okay? This is a great way for you to, quickly boost your views, your reach, and your impressions. As well, it's highly consumable content. So you got to make it like super easy for people to understand within like 15 seconds. I think you have 30-second option now too, but the shorter the better, because people's attention span is much shorter. Now, your quick tip, and this is like the inside scoop. Instagram is like doing everything in their power to nudge you and get you to use their video platforms. Stories, when you think about it, are at the top when you're looking through your feed. Reels now have a place on the main nav. IGTV will soon, and same with the shop button. Live gets like very special notifications, and so does IGTV. So they're just like nudging you. Use these video platforms, please. And thank you, Christina Hammond and Michaela. So use them. They want you to. As well, on your feed, they want you to make more videos because they circulate better. They get more reach. They get more shares. They get more saves. So try to incorporate video into your content and use some of these video platforms. So I would say like pick 1 to 2. You like doing stories, stick to stories, and maybe you like going live. Pick those 2 as your video platforms and take like 30 days, 90 if you want to get crazy, and be consistent. Do stories every single day for 90 days and go live like once a week for those 90 days, 30 to 90 days, but 90 days preferably, just so you can like make a space and a name for yourself on here on Instagram. All right. So again, with the community, and you'll hear me say the word engagement a lot too, because you got to engage with your community, connect with them, talk to them. You've got a lot of options to connect with them as well, from liking their content, commenting on it, sharing it, saving it, as well as sending people DMs. So responding to their stories would count in the DM section, or just sending a DM straight up. But today I just want to talk about the comments and the DMs. Let's talk about comments. This is where the conversations are happening. This wasn't always the case for Instagram. Once Instagram comments were more so about the person commenting. They would literally just, comment how they feel about a post without actually interacting with the caption itself, the creator itself. But now the tables have turned, and you're most likely commenting in response to a question that somebody asked in their caption. It can still be a reaction that you're having to their post, but you're bringing in the creator now, and you're opening up for conversation, not only with the creator, but with others that are in the comments too, which is so key. This is how, again, you can find like-minded audiences. They're commenting on this post for a reason as well. You can usually tell if it's somebody's mom, so don't worry. And they're obviously commenting because they're somebody's mom. Now with the DMs, this is like the holy grail of Instagram. Once you're in the DM and you're having a conversation, like, it grows. This is where the conversation grows, and it can become an in real life relationship. You can create collaborations out of these conversations. There can be group chats in DMs. It is like unbelievable, all the stuff that you can do in the DM. And another thing I want to make note of, DM interactions are dynamic. Soon, this will be the case for comments. Instagram is going to allow the creator to comment with the video response, no one else. Like, it has to be the creator that responds with the video response. But in the DMs, you can currently send video messages to people, voice messages, and of course, text style messages to people. So it's like a little bit more dynamic way to communicate with people. It's fun, it's exciting. You can actually do like Zoom style calls on Instagram through the DM, which is wild. I don't know, it's just like a really great place to be. The other thing too, while Instagram is nudging us to use video, everything on Instagram leads to the DM. Okay, so I want you to think about that. And again, your quick tip: focus on your existing audience first before you do any sort of outreach. This is, of course, for those of you that have, even 100 followers on Instagram. Those are 100 people that you should be connecting with. And then, 20% of your time you can spend doing a little outreach and finding new audiences to share your message and your brand with.